So hi, this is Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I am going to be setting up my fall traveler's notebook. And right now I'm just kind of going through a little pocket that I had full of vintage playing cards. And I'm just going to be pulling out some ephemera, some vintage things, some new things. That is Autumn Days sheet music that I pulled out of a book, and a couple of Halloween advertisements out of a magazine, and a Halloween recipe card, and a fall recipe card. And then this is the Snoopy TN that I made last year. It's standard size. I sewed in an elastic loop for a pen. And yeah, I see that I didn't use fray check on the end of the elastic, so I'm just going to trim it off real quick. Then I'm just going to continue to go through this little first aid kit that I got at Target, and I used it this summer, and then I just started pulling all my fall things as I was going through my stash. This is a wallet that I made for a traveler's notebook. I have them in all different sizes, and I sell them on my Instagram, the Preppy Crafty Girl. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, a lot of times I'll be putting up things to sell on there, or you could just DM me and ask me what kind of wallets do you have for traveler's notebooks. And I also sell traveler's notebooks and junk journal inserts, which I'll be doing a video on those soon. I also sell the clay clips that I just put down. I don't know that I have any of those in stock, or that I will be able to get any of those in the next 2 months. They are packed up right now, all my supplies. This is an insert that I got from a Happy Scrappy kit. I never used it. It's for fall. And I'm just kind of going through, pulling out clips that I had added to it. I'll get it ready to put in my traveler's notebook. And I made that bookmark that says to do from the sticky note pad that came in that kit. And then that dashboard is also from Happy Scrappy. This is a List by Faith. Oh my goodness. I've had this for a few years. I bought it. I never used it. And I decided I was going to pull it out and get back to listing. I haven't been listing in a long time. So there's prompts on there. So I'm going to add those two in to my traveler's notebook. This is some ephemera, I think, that came with it. I doubt I'll be using that. That's kind of summery. This is a little charm I bought. I don't even know when, but I found it in my stash. It has a little pumpkin carriage. It's so cute. So I'm going to add that to the front of the traveler's notebook later on. This is a playing card that I had put, or a credit card that I had put some washi tape, fall washi tape on. The part about the wallets is that I do include 2 pockets on there specifically for washi tape, or you could put small embellishments or your credit cards or whatever you want in them, but I do it so that I have pockets for my traveler's notebook. And I'm going to go ahead and string in those inserts, and later on in the video you'll see me, I'm going to be changing up the inserts a little bit and adding a couple more inserts in. I had previously pulled out a few Tombow markers to use when I'm journaling, and some pretty fall colors. This is, or are, some sticky notes that I believe is from Happy Scrappy, And that is the one that I made the to-do bookmark out of, the one that I showed earlier. This is Golden Days by Fancy Pants Collection, their little die cut ephemera pack. And this is also from that Illustrated Faith Cultivate kit I bought a few years back and haven't used. So I know I have the insert. I will be pulling it out in a little bit. I've remembered that I had that insert. These are some stickers from A Daphne's Diary. Those are pockets that I used that are from a Felicity Jane kit. And here's some Happy Scrappy stickers that came with that Traveler's Notebook. If you've never gotten or seen any of her kits, Happy Scrappy, they are the most adorable illustrations. And speaking of adorable illustrations, this is the Reset Girls kit that I bought for listing. I don't remember when I got it, maybe 2 years ago. And sadly, I never used it. So I'm going to pull it out and do some listing in that listing book. There is a library card, some more washi tape. I like to take my washi when I get it new and make up a few card samples. That way I have them to just slide in the pockets when I'm on the go. I just store them in an index card holder. And then I have cards by theme or color coordination. And yeah, it's just really convenient. These are also from that listing kit, the fall listing kit from the Reset Girl. Again, I doubt she has them in stock anymore. They're really old. And these are some journaling cards. I really love that pink sweater. Oh my gosh, I love that pink sweater card. We have a very short fall season in Florida, so I have to use these things up pretty quickly. Or I rarely get to use them. Let's put it that way. And I have a little felt and crocheted flower. That's a sticker that went with that kit. And I'm continuing to dig out some things. Those are some scripture cards that came with that same Illustrated Faith kit. And then here's another washi sample on, I believe it's a Starbucks card from one year. It was really cute. It was campfire, had a little plaid thermos. So I just wrapped some plaid washi tape around it. So I decided I was going to make a little shaker pocket, and I'm just going to clean up my desk real quick, so I'm going to speed things up because you don't really want to watch that. I picked up some of these acrylic pockets from the Target Dollar Spot, and those are 2 little clay clips I've made. I need to start offering those again. It's pancakes and coffee. And that's a journaling card that I made. I saw Gina from the Rebookery make one, and I had some of those recipe cards, so I put some vintage fabric on the top. And this is a jar by Buttons and More, and I'm shaking it down because it has sequins and seed beads, and they had all fallen down to the bottom of the jar. And I decided I'm not going to use the black, so I'm going to speed things up so that you don't have to sit there and watch me sort through them. But I'm just going to use the orange ones, and I'm going to get rid of the rest. So I'm adding these little pumpkin die cuts. I see that there's 2 there. So I'm pulling them apart. And I apologize for that sound in the background. It is my air conditioner running. It's a window air conditioner where I'm staying while I'm doing this record voiceover. So these are Golden Days by Fancy Pants die cuts. I decide I want to add a little saying, so I pull out this dandelion Make-A-Wish. Who doesn't remember as a kid laying in the grass picking dandelions? I remember how you used to blow and all the little pieces would go flying. There was one that said Hello Fall, but I didn't really care for the black too much. So I went with the Make-A-Wish dandelion. And now I'm just adding a little of the Illustrated Faith fall washi tape. I believe this came in that Cultivate kit. So I'm putting it all on the top, and I will peel off the pocket from the backer and trim up to match. Trim the washi tape up to match. And then I'm going to just fold it over to seal it shut. Really simple. And I know that I tried to stick it down to the front. For some reason it didn't want to stick to the fabric very well. So I ended up taking that Snoopy pin that's on the front, Nixie Manor. She's on Instagram, she's a friend of mine. She sent it to me. Thank you, Nikki. I love my little Snoopy pin. And so I decided to take it and poke it through to hold the pocket in place. Just a little pocket full of happiness on the front side of my dory. And now I'm just going to speed things up because I kind of fumble with the elastic a little bit, and I'm sure you don't want to watch that. So I added the charm, that little pumpkin carriage charm, which is so cute. Wow, I really was having a hard time there. And yeah, looks adorable. So this is an insert that I made, and I make these and I sell them on Instagram, and actually I'm getting ready to do a big series right now and a big release. So these are inserts. They're all made with vintage ephemera and also some little add-ins that you can use in your journal. You can either use these as they are, or you can tear them up and use them in a blank traveler's notebook. So what you'll get in the pack, and I'll do a separate video on this, I'm just showing you this one that I'm getting ready to put in my notebook, but you're going to get this one that's similar to this one, and then you will get a blank one, and then it will come in a fabric dory cover. And they're all different. Basically they have pretty much the same amount of pages and pockets and tucks, and they'll all have that little number stencil that I made. And yeah, so they basically kind of have a little bit of a travel theme going on in these, as far as things that I cut out. That's some vintage baker twine I tied them up with. So even when you're done with the book, you can even use the baker's twine. I cut it a little long. You can, always cut it and use it. This is a little envelope I made out of some vintage notebook paper, and I die cut a bunch of numbers. So if you do listing or you want to add dates to your page, there's a bunch of numbers in there that you can glue in. So they're made with pattern paper. Here's a playing card with some washi tape on it, and sewing book page, pocket that I made out of a paper gift bag I got, and of course maps and some pattern tissue. These are die cuts that I made for little journaling spots, so you get 5 of those in a glassine envelope. And you're basically getting it kind of naked because it really is for tearing up. That is a little glassine envelope with some flower die cut. It's like a flower die cut kit I made you, so you can put together, I think, 4 or 5 flowers, layered flowers. And those are some vintage travel advertisements. And the covers are made from an old flower calendar. And here I decided I'm going to add in a couple more inserts. So I'm making separate elastic bands from 3mm elastic, and you just make a loop, and then you're going to take one notebook and loop it through, and then put back to front of the next notebook, finding the center, and string that through the elastic loop. You'll open them up. I'm kind of struggling here a little bit. Tuck the first whole book under the elastic that's attached to the TN, and the elastic will sit in between the 2 notebooks. And that's how you hold them in. And again, I'll show you here with this one. So I cut a length of elastic 2 times plus a little more the size of your traveler's notebook, the height. And I have no idea what I'm doing here, so wow, I really struggled tying that knot. It's really not that difficult. Okay, now I think I got it. And you're just gonna loop it, and again find, oh, I have to take this one out. Okay, then you're just gonna loop it around the middle, put the back to the front, put the loop all the way around, and open it up. And you're gonna tuck one notebook under and slide the elastic down. And there you have it. All your notebooks are in. My notebook's getting chunky, just the way I like it. So that first notebook I'm going to be doing some journaling in. So I'll be taking, what I do is I take the one that I'm going to be writing in and I take it out from the elastic, and that way, and I set it on the table, and then that way it's not all bumpy, it's easy to write in. So having a chunky journal doesn't really matter because I'm just going to pull out the notebook I'm working in. And now I'm taking that little junk journal insert and I am just kind of decorating it for Halloween. I'm not going to secure the decorations in, only because I will continue to use this insert into November. And so once I hit November, then I can just take out the Halloween decorations and start to kind of decorate it for Thanksgiving. These were some advertisements that I got out of a 1960s Good Housekeeping, I have a bunch of 1960s Good Housekeeping magazines, and I've been just kind of reading through them, and I came across a couple of cute little Halloween advertisements, so I cut them out and I'm gonna put them in my junk journal. And this one is a little trick-or-treater, and it's an advertisement for raisins. And who doesn't remember a neighbor who always wanted to give you a healthy treat when you went trick-or-treating? And as a kid, you didn't appreciate it because you just wanted like the good candy, the chocolate. But yeah, so I decided I'm going to add this in. I'm going to trim it up really quickly, and I'm going to add it to the front of my cover. I just love how these old magazines were already patinaed. Yeah, I kind of decided I wanted to do it on the front. So I'm going to take that trim piece and I'm going to lay it behind her. And I'm just going to clip her in there. That was a little fabric clip from that Cultivate kit. That is a vintage seed packet that I received from Vanessa Pope, Salvage Nation on Instagram. Then I have this little recipe card, like a harvest recipe card, and I'm just flipping through to figure out where I want to put it because I just kind of want to tack it down. So I decided on this yellow book page, and I like how the corn husk is hanging off and hanging out like a tab, but I'm just going to go ahead and tape it down. I like to journal on the front and put a photo on the back, so I'll be able to easily remove it, and then maybe I will adhere it and fix it into the book later on. And here I'm just putting in some little felty clips I bought off Etsy, and I apologize, I do not know who I bought them from. There's a little coffee cup and a squirrel. And I'm kind of off camera there, I apologize. This is my first video as far as editing and trying to do a voiceover. Okay, here's that Felicity Jane pocket that I had, so I'm just gonna add that into the inside of that Illustrated Faith book. I'm going to use the index card like Shannon Noel is doing a word study, and so I'm gonna use the library card. Have I been saying index card this whole time? I mean library card, sorry. To put down the word and then the definition, or maybe the word and the scripture where I found it, and then do the definition on the Traveler's Notebook page. I thought those were going to fit in, and apparently they do not. This is a sticker that came with the kit, so I'm just going to put that sticker down. Apologize if you can hear my dog. Dog's getting up. And just clearing my desk. Sorry, when you get going and you're crafting, dust tends to get away. Now I'm just taking some of those cards from the Reset Girl kit and finding different places to tuck them in. Yeah, I don't like that little pom-pom, how that's sitting, so I'm gonna try to change that up a little bit. Using the Illustrated Faith little scripture cards, so I'm adding them in, making a little tuck spot down there for the other scripture cards. Oh, one of them has a little note from Shanna Noel. I'm tucking them in there. And I'm adding in one of those little chair die cut from the Reset Girl die cut sheet. And now I'm just kind of making a last look at the things that I have that I may have forgotten, and I'm just kind of tearing down that Autumn Days little piece of sheet music from a vintage hymnal. Actually, I think it was an antique hymnal, 1900 and something. It's really old and very fragile, but I'm gonna put it in there anyway because I like the lyric and it said Autumn Days. It's perfect. So going back through my little case just to see if I have anything else I may have missed, and I'm gonna add in that little pink home card. It kind of pulls out the pink and the gratitude card across from it. I'm just going to kind of go back and look to see if I've got anything else I want to tuck in here, and I find one of those vintage playing cards. It's a fall scene, the tree and a country road. I want to add that in somewhere. I don't want to permanently stick it down just yet. I like to add a photo on the back. So I'm just going to tuck it in that little gratitude pocket. And that'll be it. I just want to say thanks for joining me, and please leave a comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see, and come find me on Instagram, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I'll see you next week.